Brown here. I wanted to show you today how to use this tow dolly here. This is the Master Tow 80 THD, I think. This fits a full-size truck. So a few things to note here. One, you cannot tow an all-wheel drive vehicle, for instance like a Subaru, unless you were to disconnect the drive shaft so-and-so. This is mainly designed for towing front-wheel drive vehicles only, or you can tow a four-wheel drive vehicle as long as the four-wheel drive is selectable. And now, since this truck is rear-wheel drive, it would have to be a manual transmission. You do not want to tow a rear-wheel drive car with wheels on the ground with an automatic transmission. It's bad news. I won't go into detail now. So you're going to start by hooking your trailer up. You got your 4-pin light connection, cross your chains, 2-inch ball on here. Make sure this is locked on there nice and good. You're going to get this trailer backed up to where you need. We're using this Toyota as an example. You got it pretty much where it needs to be. Now, if the vehicle didn't run, we have a winch on here. You would be able to use this winch to pull the vehicle on. You'd want to get it much closer though first. So you're going to start by getting your straps out of the front box here. You got 2 straps and they're marked left and right. So you're going to take your left strap and you're going to start by, can you see it pretty good? Hook it on there like so. It actually goes just like this, and leave it on there. It's important that you hook these on prior to putting the vehicle on, because sometimes when the tire's on here, especially if it's a truck, you can't get this hook on here properly. So leave them on there. Next, you're going to go over here to this cotter pin here. You're going to remove this, push down on the deck, and pop this pin out. Put it somewhere you're not going to lose it. So that drops the deck down. Alright, now, these are your ratchets here. These slide back and forth. There's 3 positions. This is the locked position, locked down. That's where you want to leave them when you're towing and there's no straps on here, so these ain't dangling down, hitting the ground. The next position is going to be, you pull this lever right here, and you spin this way. This is your ratcheting position. It goes everywhere. This would be lock. This is your ratcheting position. Okay, and the last position on here is when you're going to be releasing these. You pull this again and you fold all the way flat. It has to go all the way flat like that, and that's going to let this freewheel here so you can remove the strap. Okay, so again, I don't want to drive around with these hanging, even if you just make them like this, because as you hit bumps, it's going to fold down and they're going to be just like that. So when you're driving, you fold them all the way locked, so hit bumps or anything, they won't move. You can pause it. Alright, so when you're ready to pull your vehicle on, it's a good idea to have somebody up front spot. You want to have this centered on the trailer. You're just going to go ahead, pull it right up until the deck folds down like so. Now, don't put your e-brake on. Leave it in neutral. Shut the key off all the way, take it out. This is very important. You have to lock the steering. The steering must be locked, otherwise. So remember, we got it in neutral, e-brake on, so the rear wheels can spin. Steering has to be locked. If your steering lock does not work, you'll take your seat belt and you'll wrap it once, twice through here, and then buckle it in. That's very important. It's actually a good idea to do that no matter what. Because when you take a turn, if you leave that steering loose, every time you take a turn, the steering box is going to turn, and this truck's going to swing way out. Not good. Okay, so now you're going to come over here. You're going to take the straps, you're going to center it on the back side here of the tire, you're going to bring them over, and now this is kind of a bad example because these straps are a little too big for these tires. So this is my personal Toyota. I don't usually tow this thing, but whatever. So for reference, 31s, I got to get different tires for those. Regardless, so you'll then also take this pin here, your T-pin, slide this in here. That's locked in. And now just to show you an example how these work, even though this is not the right basket size for these, you're gonna, again, release that, slide this through here, leave some slack, not too much, but some slack so you get at least 3 winds on here. And then you're gonna go ahead crank this down. If you had a small tire, you can take some of the slack out with this first. But in this case, this tire is huge. So you're going to crank these down real tight, and then you're going to go ahead and do the other side. Also very important here, you're gonna then take the car, do a few different turns. After you've driven for about a mile, go back and tighten these straps down again because they're gonna seat in to the tires and they're gonna get loose. You don't wanna lose a car. The third thing would be, you also take the chains underneath here, which I don't have chains on here, but if you're using a tow dolly that does, you would take the chains and wrap them around the frame here as an extra precaution. Otherwise, don't try to back this thing up when you have a car on here. It can be done, but it's pretty much near impossible because you have a pivot here. The wheels tend to have, it doesn't work. So don't put yourself in a position where you have to back up. Tow safe, have a good day.